Hi guys, so happy Monday. We are here for Chopper History today, and we have a special guest, Bert Baker. Those of you that know him know what a riot he is.
Bert effing Baker.
But before we get to Bert, I just want to go over a couple things. Thank you to Indian Motorcycles, Law Tigers, and NAMS, and Badlands for sponsoring Chopper History today. And also, guys, don't forget to go to our Instagram page, Perowitz_CycleFab. Give us a follow, like our stuff. Hot Leathers has our apparel, so you can go on there, check out our new hoodies as well as t-shirts. We will have more and more. There'll be some women's stuff in the next, hopefully, week or so. And we also just got these. So
these are our new flannels.
To the middle.
Yeah. With the Perowitz logo embroidered. Very nice.
Yeah, they're nice flannels.
Yeah. I wear flannels every day, and yeah, these are nice. There's nice big pockets.
Yeah, they're good quality too. Like the
real nice
material
quality.
is kind of heavy, but not too heavy. So that's the men's, and then this one, Andy from Hot Leathers just sent me today. So here's another one. This is the women's one. I assume you guys can see this.
Yeah.
So we will have these. They'll be on their website soon too. So keep checking Hot Leathers for our apparel, because we'll have tons of new stuff on there. So I think that's all. Oh, and our paint show. Don't forget. So Wednesday, March 10th, we will be having our paint show at the Broken Spoke in Daytona. So come on out to that. If you guys have a custom paint job, enter in our show. If you don't, come on out and just spectate all the bikes that are going to be there, because I think it's going to be a really good crowd this year. It seems like everybody's antsy to go do something and get out and do some motorcycling. I don't know where you're from, but here we just got 6-8 inches of snow. It seems like I have more at my house.
Yeah, yeah.
Like 8 inches of snow.
And it was a heavy, wet snow, but now, luckily, I plowed last night. Today, it's all frozen.
Yeah, but the sun's out, so we're not complaining, but it just makes us a little bit itchier for the springtime. I'll give a shout out to a couple of you guys: Derek Horter, Matt French, Steve Brenner, Darcy, Doug from
Gary Raphael. Yeah. I want to thank you. He sent me a birthday present, an early birthday present.
Which it's
very
DP's
cool.
Birthday soon.
Yeah, very cool, Gary. Thank you very much.
Is it something you can't say?
No, it's a little figure, I guess it's a Harley Davidson little figure, and it's a little man striping a flamed gas tank.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's going in my my curio cabinet.
Yeah,
at home.
Let's see it. Dennis from Illinois, Big D, John Holloway. Oh, Brenda and Jack. I hope to see you guys.
I hope you're gonna put your bike in our show this year.
Yeah. Carl, how's it going? Oh, look, Robert Collins. Nub.
Oh, Robert Collins. Okay, that name sounds familiar.
Hey, Nub. So we had Nub on our show last week. If you guys didn't catch it, go back and watch. He is an unbelievable artist. Nub Graphics. Really good guy. Let's see. Struggles, needs strength. Let's see. Nick Watson, Steve Henderson, John Swenson. Good morning, Doug Francie.
Yeah, Donnie Eva.
Matt Sirocco. What's up, Matt?
Your
bike is coming right along.
Yeah.
Chase Hightower. That's a pretty cool name. Ellie Rains, Jan, Howie Seacrest, Craig Robastic, Tommy Myers. All right, guys. These keep coming in fast. But I want to get to Bert Baker. So let's bring him on.
Hey, Bert.
Hey, man. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's cold here. It's really cold in Michigan, you know.
Yeah, how cold is it?
Last night it was like 0.
Oh, yeah. We haven't had it. The closest it's got here is 10.
Oh, man. But, you guys are right. This time of year I start thinking about Daytona hot and heavy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's like magical when you leave all this shit, and you go down there, and it's just awesome,
Yeah.
So, Yeah, man. What's the agenda? What are we going to talk about? Anything?
Well, we're going to talk about you, Bert, and we're gonna give people a little history here. And we met in 1998 when I did the camel.
That is correct.
Camel bike.
That is
and
correct.
you had just came out with a 6-speed. And
when was that? 98?
That was in 98. You remember that?
I do. My kids were pooping in their diapers at that time. And I don't. How about you, Jody? Were you pooping in your pants?
Not quite, but
not quite. Pretty close.
I was learning how to write my name.
Yeah, Bert was a white collar guy with short hair and no tattoos.
None. Yeah.
How much of you is tattooed right now?
I just got sleeves.
Can you not disclose that?
I got a tattoo of a Disney character on my pee-pee, but I'm not going to tell you about that.
Yeah. No, we don't want to know about
Is it a little miniature one?
Stop it, man. It's fucking too early for this shit.
So, Bert, let's get some of your history, how you started out and you ended up being the transmission guru of the motorcycle industry.
Yeah. I don't know about all that, but
we know you are.
Huh?
We know you are.
Okay, well, my history starts out. I screwed with motorcycles when I was a kid, and when I got 18 years old, I went to college and become an engineer. And my mother thought, thank God he forgot about motorcycles and he's going to go become a respectable engineer. And
poor mom.
So I graduated from college and got right back into motorcycles. But most of my stuff was like off-road, dirt bike stuff.
Yeah.
And, but in 1984, I hired into a car company in town here called Oldsmobile, you may remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I quickly gravitated to the transmission department at Oldsmobile, and GM reorganized and did this and that. But by 1990, I was like the transmission guy in charge of the small manual transmission that went behind Cavaliers and Grand Ams.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
must have been kind of boring to work for Oldsmobile. What cool car does Oldsmobile have? I mean, my Nana drove an Oldsmobile.
Dude, oh man, you're a chip off the old block, man. You just made my pee-pee get small.
Really
smaller, you mean?
Mini Mouse
off the old block. But, so, like, I started screwing with motorcycles, like in I got my first Harley in '94.
How old were you? 20s?
Well,
late in life.
In
so you got Harley late in life.
36 years old is when I started Baker Drivetrain, like in '97 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got a Harley late in life.
I did.
So what made you start a motorcycle transmission business?
Okay, so at the time in '96, '97, I looked around and I saw that a lot of people were making performance engines. You remember, like, Merch Motors?
Oh yeah.
Of course, Tom from TP. He was making motors. S&S was making motors. Everybody was making motors, but nobody was taking the transmission serious. And you can make all the fucking power in the world, but if you're not putting it to the ground correctly,
right,
it doesn't matter, And so,
don't we know that?
Yeah. You know that with your racing for sure.
Yeah,
it's just as important as the fucking engine as it relates to performance. And so, I just if you view the whole motorcycle aftermarket as a big canvas, there was like a blank spot on that canvas in the transmission business. So I said, that one's mine.
It certainly is.
You know, and I said, that's me. That's what I want to do. And so that's how it started, Dave. And you know, in the beginning though, it was hard because, you know, I was nobody, right? You know, and I came up to you in '98 at the Camel Roadhouse, said, "Hey, my name is Bert Baker. You know, I made this transmission," and you looked at me like I was from outer space because you were God. You're still God, you know. But
Right.
you know, I started working with you and a couple other people, you know, like Eddie, and then Jesse James popped on the scene, you know, and you know, a lot of people have forgotten that history, but that was like a beautiful time, you know.
Yes, it was a great time.
It was an
absolute
time.
That was the year that Jesse did the Camel Roadhouse, correct?
No, Jesse didn't get in the Camel Roadhouse till 2000.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was like you and Eddie.
Yeah, it was me, Donnie Smith.
Yep.
Sims.
Ron Sims.
Yep.
And Jim Nassy.
Nasty. Yes.
Right.
And
yeah.
And you know, people forget that tobacco money really put a big, you know, shot in the arm of the whole thing. You know, it was really a good deal, just like it was for NASCAR.
Yeah.
You know, and so, but then, you know, tobacco money and all that, you know, they can't advertise anymore and all that, and so it went away. But that was like the golden era of custom build.
Oh yeah,
without a doubt, because they would take and showcase people like Dave, Jim Nassy, you know, and Donnie, and eventually Jesse, and that entity made God out of you guys. Not that you weren't before, but it brought it to the public conscience, you know.
Yeah.
It put it in everybody's face, and so I was just the guy behind the scenes doing transmissions, and you know, and I kind of, you know, figured out what I needed to do, you know, to sell transmissions, and so a little known fact, today probably 5% of our transmissions going out the door are complete builds.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Back then in '98. 95% of
right.
transmissions.
I was just gonna say 5%'s a low number.
Yeah,
it is a low number. There's just not much, you know.
Oh yeah, we know. Believe me.
You know. One transmission though is bucking the trend. Is it's our 6 4 transmission for the older bikes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That makes up the majority of the complete transmissions we send out the door. Because people like that old kicker, you know?
Yeah.
And they like the old bikes, and we send them all over the world.
Oh, I bet.
We send them all over the world.
Yeah.
And
Brett,
so,
you want to
a person that was instrumental in helping me out in '98 and showing me the road and all that was Skeeter Todd.
Oh yeah.
And you know, we lost him back in October.
Yeah.
You know, which is sad. And what's more sad is that, you know, he didn't accept his Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And that's sad to me. And of course, next year or this year at Sturgis, you know, he'll be presented with it.
Yeah.
You know, posthumously, and so. But Skeeter was a good friend of yours too, right, David?
Oh, Skeeter is an old friend. I mean, I know Skeeter for 40 years.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, we go way back to the 70s.
Oh man.
Hey, Bert.
Yeah.
So, how did you come up with this logo?
That's good, man. That's good. I completely forgot about that. That logo that you see came off a bike that Dave Pirowitz painted for me in 2001. And that flame, the flame you see, is the flame that David Pirowitz put on that tank. You know, we're looking at the right side of the tank. You know, you see it. Yeah. And let me see. We got all our girly posters.
I was noticing that you have all we can see is some legs
Yeah. The
The
legs are for a mannequin, but you see this bike with the naked chick in front up there?
Oh yeah.
You know, it was that bike, 2001, that David painted for us, and that is the origin of the Bacon Drivetrain logo, everybody.
You know, I should get a royalty on that.
David, man, you are all you can sniff out an opportunity like a freaking elephant, man. You got a nose like an elephant.
You know, Bert,
What?
the first time that you displayed that transmission of yours, I'm going to say did you display at the dealer show in either 97 or 98?
Okay.
Did
Our
you?
very first show was Biketoberfest 98.
Yeah.
And then so in 99, I believe was our first, indoor trade show, like maybe at Indy.
Yeah. Okay.
Think it was maybe at Indy.
Yeah.
And we had a 10x10 booth. We didn't know what was up, Lisa and I just made up this shit, as we went along,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
we're just engineers.
When did you come out with the right side drive?
Okay, so
Was that 2000?
at the it's 01. So
Okay.
at the indie show in 2000, I had developed some right side drive transmissions for a local company that was making dwarf cars.
Making
the little dwarf. They're kind of cool.
Action cars?
And
like a midget.
like a midget car.
Yeah.
Correct. And so I developed that for that, and they went out of business, and I spent all this fucking time developing the transmission. So Lisa and I went to the indie show in 2000 and just put it out for display because it was something weird.
Yeah.
And then so what happened is two people walked by that transmission and said, "Do you know what that is?" And I said, "No, I just designed it." And two people, one was Skeeter Todd and one was Sandy Cosman, another great man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, racing icon.
Without a doubt.
And they explained to me that was the answer for you remember the wide tire wars?
Oh, yeah.
Metzler and Avon going back and forth. And they said that's the answer to even up the bike. So in 2001, we put together the first right side drive bike that I just showed you up there. And in 2001, we put it out there, and you painted it and made our logo. I mean, up until your inspiration for the logo, we were Baker Incorporated. How boring is that?
Yeah.
I mean,
I remember, when I said I remember your transmission at the dealer show, then that's what it was. It was the right side drive. I remember seeing that right side drive tranny.
Yeah.
And Avon had just come out with the 250 tire.
Yes, that was big stuff. Man.
Right. And then I got together with Phil Day.
Yeah.
And built the right side drive frame.
That is correct.
And I think yours and mine, the one I built, we were, I think, the first two right side drive bikes that were out there
on the planet. That is correct. That is correct. You might have even been with Skeeter when he walked by or something, because once again I was new to the game and I didn't know anybody, and there were all these gods like yourself walking around, and I'm just a snot-nosed kid with no tattoos, Not
anymore, though.
But no, you're somewhere on my body here. I don't know where it is, but somewhere.
Name? Yeah, I was gonna say, would you have a portrait?
Is that is your artwork? It's gonna live with me till I die, David.
Oh, no kidding. Well, good.
Yeah.
That's
well,
good.
the logo, and so I will send out that check as soon as we hang up the phone here right now, David.
Yeah.
I mean, I know how you are, man. I know how you are.
He'll be at the mailbox every day looking for it.
Yeah.
But I did. It's interesting. I did a podcast thing with Fast Life Garage.
Oh yeah, with Jace.
Jace, yeah.
Great.
And pretty cool deal. That's a cool deal. Just like this show. And he's like 30-something years old. And the interesting thing is, and that's why I love the concept of your show here. The interesting thing is, he had no idea of all of this Camel Roadhouse shit and all of this stuff going. He had no idea it even happened.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. That was my point of this show. Is I hear so many cool stories.
Yeah,
and they need to be shared. They need to be told, because it's not something you can look up. It's not, you can't ask Surrey.
Right. It's
can only be told.
Right. Bert Baker. A lot of people don't know your background or anything about you.
Right. The backstory. Right,
exactly. And that's, the Camel Roadhouse was, like you say, it was a huge deal. And you know that from the Camel Roadhouse, I went on to work for Wild Turkey. I did a whole endorsement for Wild Turkey.
For alcohol money.
And then Allstate. I worked for Allstate for 4 years.
That is correct.
As the national spokesperson in the motorcycle side. And it was all from the people that I had met and worked with at the Camel Roadhouse.
It springboarded all of that.
Yeah.
And then the TV stuff.
Right.
All the TV stuff springboarded off of that. And, we don't have that today. And the industry really needs something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad.
Yeah. And you were involved with the TV stuff till the end, I think, and all of that. So we're going to have a little segment in this show today called English 101 with Jody and Dave. So I heard you say a word earlier, Jody. You said artist. So say the word artist. Artist. Okay, say another phrase for me. Graybeard.
Old buzzards.
Buzzards. It's a buzzard, not a buzzard.
Right. No, we have buzzards. We have buzzards here, not buzzards.
You can say it both ways. Good for you. And so, David, say my name, Bert Baker.
Bert Baker.
It's Bert Baker, not Baker.
Yeah, Baker.
No, you don't have an R here.
Yeah.
You don't have an R.
But Bert, it's great because most of the people, the kids in the industry now, they just know you as a crazy old man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Seriously.
Right.
I don't know you as an old man, Bert.
Yeah. No, but you know what I'm talking about.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. And it went so fast, man. It went so fast.
It goes by quick, let me tell you.
Because I was a snot-nosed kid. Here's Lisa. Lisa just walked in. And I see. So there's all of this history, like you're talking about. I mean, it's. Let me see. What's some other? Okay, so like another piece of history. Let's do this one. So at the Cincinnati V-Twin trade show in the early 2000s, I was getting an award for the 6-speed, right?
Yeah.
And you remember that show was like a really big deal.
Oh, absolutely.
It was a big, like, professional production, man. And it was like people got, people dressed up a little bit, went to the show and got the awards. So by then you started fucking with me. And then, so it was the evening of the awards and you found out I was getting the award and you looked at me stone cold and you said, Bert, do you have your tux with you? Are you wearing your tux this evening? Your tuxedo? And I swallowed, gulp, and
please tell me you didn't go get a tux.
I was pretty close. I had to consult a lot of people. To know, because I didn't know you very well at that time. Is Dave fucking with me? Is Dave fucking with me, or is he not?
Yeah.
So that was a hard deal, and I went up and got the award without the tux, and you were like heckling me and shit. And so you see Lisa Baker behind us here right now?
Hi, Lisa.
No, I'm following the rules.
She's following the rules.
You have a mask on just for Bert's sake, right?
That's
Yeah,
right.
so he doesn't get my germs because he's such a.
Yeah, I'm such a
Safe guy.
Lisa is
yeah,
the
safety is my motto.
Baker.
You know, and so you Jody, you know this. Your dad's a prankster,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we like to bust balls.
Bust balls, well put. And so I've learned this lesson over and over in life, and the lesson is this: never hop into a ring with a heavyweight boxer. Okay, I keep relearning this lesson, and my story goes like this. It was about 5 years ago at the Pirowett's Paint Show. You know, it was down. You had maybe the last one was on the Beach Street. You know.
Oh yeah. That was
on the next to the water.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
Yeah.
And it was a really, really classy show. You had some spectacular bikes there. You know, people invited, to the show or whatever. Beautiful bikes. The layout was really nice, and I think Western Power Sports Hard Drive may have sponsored it. Or something. Did you get Western Power Sports to sponsor it?
Yeah.
Really, really nice show. It's very classy. So, so I decided that was my opportunity to try to fuck with the master.
Nice try.
So I walked up to Dave, and I had cooked up this line, and I thought, man, this is going to be a knockout. I'm going to put him on the ground. I mean, I'm going to fucking, do this. You're going to be on the ground. So I walked up to you and I said, Dave, this is a very classy show, I'm very impressed. The only thing that can improve the show, I think, would be to have topless girls running around with trays of donuts, handing them out. And you did not smile. You did not break character. You looked at me and said, and blowjob. and that was just like I thought I had cooked up the ultimate line, and you just said 2 words and just busted my bubble. And that's your dad, Jody. That's your dad.
I can't pick him.
You can't pick him. What?
Next time I see you, remind me to tell you the story. This is the ultimate prank. I can't tell it to you on the air. Tattoo Wayne pulled off.
Okay. Oh, he's a prankster.
Oh, Wayne pulled off the ultimate. Okay.
That's the rated X one. That's
absolutely.
Hey, so while we're talking about pranks, though, we have a special guest that insisted on coming on here today.
Yeah.
So this guy.
Hey, you fucking cocksucker!
Oh my God, Bob Seeger, the Silver Bullet
PG, Bob.
You fucking
talk
hump.
about an operator, man. This dude is an operator. This dude
Bob
is
is an operator.
This dude, look at him smiling. Look at his smile. Look at that smile. It's like so I was over at the Larry show in September one year, and Bob told me, we're gonna do a shoot for a poster, and I said, oh, that's cool. What are you gonna get, a chick or something? He said, no, man, I got a buddy at the cop shop, and he's gonna fly a cop helicopter down, and he's gonna fly it in, and then a chick's gonna jump out or something. There's no limits to this guy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember, he's from New York City.
He's from New York.
Right.
New York. How you doing, Bob?
Sir, why should there be limits?
Why should there be limits?
There shouldn't
Why
be
should
limits.
there be limits?
Well,
There
Bert,
should not be.
everybody has limits. It ain't you, that's for sure.
I got one speed, brother. I got one speed.
Right.
Poor Lisa.
Or that poor lady. Poor lady.
Oh,
How you doing, Bob? Man, you're building some bikes, brother. We shipped a couple last week.
I believe, yeah. We got a couple We got a couple of good bike builds going on. They're happy.
That's cool. And the
Yeah.
trannies we shipped out to you are not like chicks with dicks. They were like gearboxes.
No. The
like-
packaging might be, but not the product. You fuck.
Oh boy.
You look good, Bert. You look good.
Oh man, you look good too, brother. You big old teddy bear, man.
Well, I'm getting divorced, Bert, so I'm thinking that I should be queer and be a teddy bear. What do you think?
Well, you could be like, what is it? They call that a big old. Yeah, the gay guys call it something
It's
like
a guy with comfort.
comfort.
You guys are so gay.
See, this is a rough neighborhood.
Yeah, no kid. Well, this is
a
tough.
very rough neighborhood, man.
This
What
is
you out
tough
in
to
West, Bob?
I think, Bert, you should give up being afraid to come to New York and fucking come on out here for a couple of days.
Where are you at, man? Where are you at right now?
Right now, I'm at my buddy's house. He made meatballs.
Of course he went for food.
Fucking
What else is
listen.
supposed to be doing?
My buddy Dennis.
Man, it looks beautiful out there.
I brought the Italian bread from Brooklyn.
Oh boy.
Jesus Christ. Man, you guys eat good in New York. I do know this.
Boy.
No, I
You
think
know
everybody
this.
eats good.
He eats good.
You
But
should.
this guy is so connected. This guy is the epitome of New York City corruption.
Oh, I agree.
Motherfucker.
Oh, he will have a big party and he'll have like all the local municipalities bring out these big generators and shit. And
Compliment
street lights and shit.
Well, I'm still using the locks that you gave me, and the gloves, and the chop
blades.
saw, and the saw. I got saw blades for my chop saw.
That was Maddie. That was Maddie material. That wasn't me.
Yeah, but it was all through you, Bobby. You know, all care in New York City.
You know, one of our posters is an Indian Larry bike. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, it's this one right up here.
It's that Sportster, right? You did that Sportster?
It's this one up on the corner.
Be
Can you
honest.
see it?
Yeah, no, we can't see it.
Oh, I'm being an old man with my shit here. Anyway, in 06, we did a photo shoot with this bike at our foundry that does our cases.
Yeah.
It's got this hot stripper to go on it, and she had some nipple hanging out, and it was cool. But
Janet Jackson in the Super Bowl?
pardon me.
Like Janet Jackson in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, she had a wardrobe misfunction or
Malfunction.
whatever. Yeah. So, but the story goes like this. You remember Larry, right, David?
Yeah, we remember him.
Both you and Jody remember Larry. He was, without a doubt, the coolest guy on the planet, right, Bob?
100%.
Yeah.
He was completely genuine. There was no bullshit with him. I mean, and he was just genuinely a nice guy. You know,
Yep.
he's been through a lot in his life, but you know that's all good. So
That's
it's
what makes
all of us.
somebody.
And so, the year after he passed away, I came to that goat fuck you have every fall. What is the name
That's
of it?
correct. It's the greatest party in the world.
The biggest party in the world.
Greatest. Get it fucking right.
The
I don't have
great,
the cotton.
the Brooklyn.
That's
goat-
right. Our Grease Monkey Block Party. Third Saturday in September.
And it's usually in the mid-September.
Third
This
Saturday.
September, third Saturday, September
Third
18th.
Saturday in September. A great party. So the year after Larry died, I showed up there a little bit early, and like you and Kano and Paul Cox were making a frame.
I
Right.
probably wasn't. I was probably getting coffee, Bert. Let's be honest.
Probably couldn't.
Yeah.
And they were twisting it down to.
He was actually on stage.
And so they said, Bert, come on over and help us out. So like Paul and Kano were putting the heat to the tube, and like I was twisting it. And I said, oh, that was a lot of fun, thanks. Well, like a month later, they called me up and said, you called me up, Bob, and said, hey, we want to give you this frame. And I said, I don't fucking want it. I don't want it. And they
Yep.
said, why?
You sent it
said,
anyway.
why? And I said, if I accept this frame, I got to build a bike that the man, Larry, would think was cool, right? And so then a month later, he called again and said, hey, but seriously, man, we want to give you this frame. And I said, well, if you give me one of those fancy gas tanks with the gas and oil, you know, on the two sides like Larry did, then I will accept it. And so I accepted. I probably, you know, put $100,000, you know, in building that bike, but it turned out really, really nice. And it was, you know, the name of the bike is Indian Larry Legacy, ill. And it said on the belt, it says Indian Larry deified, because he was God. You remember, David?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we did a lot of stuff together. You know, back in the day, we would do shows together, me and Bobby, and you know, some of the Billy Lane and a couple other guys. But yeah, Bobby was my mentor at the shows and showed us how to get T-shirts. Right, Bob?
Are you taking what Bert's taking? That's what I want to know. What the fuck?
Quite the accomplishment, Bobby.
Hey,
Stop it.
I'll get an attaboy.
Yeah, that's right.
Bobby is a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's all I know, man. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Thinking about making a road trip to Michigan for the weekend. What's up?
What? Hey, it's 1 degree here, man.
I don't give a fuck. My bulls dropped.
One degree. Dude, man. Dude. But I tell you what, you guys are doing good, right, Bob?
Listen, we're pretty grateful. Yeah, we got ourselves a couple of little CNC machines. I think you met John the Painter 1 or 2 times in Sturgis.
Yep.
He's the ace, man. He's 100% the ace. Yeah. If it's not painting, he's just creating shit in the computer, building bikes. He's
a man.
He don't warm up for about 8 or 9 months to you, and that's maybe.
Yeah.
I know.
What was that? What was the 8 or 9 months thing? What did you say?
It's like 8 or 9 months for him to even warm up and say hello.
Does he smoke a lot of grass?
Nah, he don't. I think he likes Captain and ginger ale or something. I don't know.
Because painters, I don't think David smokes a lot of grass, but a lot of painters typically smoke a lot of fucking grass.
No, we just huff paint.
Yeah, we smell.
You gotta huff the gold paint. Man. The gold paint is the best. You huff a lot of paint. Good one, Jody, man. You're a chip off the old block. Oh my God, man.
Well, look, I'm gonna leave your conversation.
You go eat your meatballs.
You three beautiful ladies. And,
go eat your meatballs.
Yo, the fucking meatball sandwiches are gonna be the best.
God damn it.
Bobby, good to see you.
All right, thanks so much.
We'll
You
follow
guys have a great day. Hey, and listen, happy Black History Month, all right?
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Bye, Bob.
Black History Month.
That was
that
nice, huh?
That dude's a character.
He is a character
Yeah,
for sure.
Bobby is truly a character.
Hey, I wanted to mention this quick. So I see this picture of, is that you?
That's me, baby.
Oh boy. So
I've been playing with drag racing, you know.
Well, tell us about it.
yeah.
Tell us what you.
Yeah. So, like about 5 or 6 years. No. When I turned, I'm almost 59. When I turned 50, so that's, oh my God, almost 9 years ago.
Wow, it's a long time.
Yeah, Lisa sent me to George Bryce's Pro Stock Drag Racing School.
Oh, I went to that too.
Right. It was a cool deal,
We had
right?
this conversation, I think.
Yeah.
It was cool.
I mean, you know, that was my you know, when you take a 250 horsepower Suzuki, hang the throttle wide open and dump the clutch, it's a drug, man.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It's way cool. And that was my first exposure to, you know, like, you know, low 8-second, high 7-second, you know, drag racing.
Yeah, ditto.
If anybody thinks it's simple, like I thought it was simple, right? I thought, well, how much could there be to just holding the throttle wide open and going? You know, it's a pretty simple task, right? Well, you get out there and do it.
I agree. I agree.
I mean, you can hook left, you can hook right. I mean,
You can stall.
They stall, they don't go straight. I mean, it's terrifying.
Yeah. So I have this video. I'm not sure. Let me see if it'll play.
No.
Does Gary, you're on your parent side? With blank card, I'm sorry, I don't know what he's running. Then we got Kate Henderson over on the executive side, the O2 side.
Jody.
What was that bike, Bert?
That was the Indian Larry bike, baby.
Oh, really? How big was the motor?
It's a 106 shovel, kick only. That's the one I saw you at the Willie's Tropical
Okay.
last year. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
At Willie's Tropical, and I had problems kick starting it, and then you came over and rubbed the tank a little bit, and then it started for real.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
You kicking forever.
I was kicking forever,
Yeah,
man.
it was
I'm
this
too
day.
old for that.
This
That was it, man. That was it from last year. That was a really good time, but
I was really embarrassed for you.
well, you know, these days nobody kickstarts a motorcycle, and so
Right.
like
Literally.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
when somebody is kickstarting a motorcycle, a crowd will gather around you, right?
Oh, isn't that
Of course,
unbelievable? Huh?
as you know, the bigger the crowd, the more challenge you have to start the motorcycle. I mean,
Yeah,
they
right.
don't start.
Right.
Yes.
I
They
know.
don't start. And
Yes.
so, on that video you just showed, that was that Indian Larry bike. But let me tell you, launching a foot clutch bike on a drag strip is a challenge.
And you
Yeah.
gotta let go of the handlebars because is it a jockey shift?
Yeah, right. So you got one hand like this, you know, and so I mean, it looked like I was going slow, probably because I was going slow because you know, because it's a challenge to race a jockey shift bike.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so tell us about that other bike that you were racing.
This one.
What that is you remember James used to work for me?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course. James
Another
Smith.
one.
Yeah.
Another
Well,
one of my favorites.
he's a character. He's another character, and he got me into drag racing. Then after I went to the George Bryce Pro Stock thing and came back, he got me into drag racing because you know you can't just fall off the turnip truck and go drag racing, right? You got to have like a mentor or somebody guiding you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Jody? I mean, you gotta really rely on smart people that know the ropes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is something else you can't Google.
There you go. Exactly. You have to live it.
Yeah.
And so, so after doing that George Bryce experience, came back here, and then James helped me put together that bike. Ironworks magazine ran, a couple articles on it, the buildup of it, and I built it, to learn how to go drag racing, and to play. I went to some of the LSR stuff a couple times.
Yeah.
Land speed record stuff. I went to Ohio.
Yeah.
We
I
went
never made it up to Maine. You go up to Maine, or you went up to Maine a lot, Jody.
Yeah. Maine was
But,
at a track.
that's another thing other than, land speed record seems like it'd be really easy and simple. But when you start going above, I never did it, but when you approach 200 miles an hour, things start happening really fast, right?
Yeah.
Oh, very fast.
And so anyways, that bike, I mostly did drag racing. But it's got a 140-inch long motor in it, and it's just a rigid frame. It's not really race bike. It's more of a fun bike
Yeah,
with a license plate.
yeah.
But I did like 9.5 seconds at $140 on it and stuff.
Respectable.
Hey,
It's okay, man. It's
do you
okay.
have a 5-speed or a 6-speed in that?
Well, just the 5-speed, because like on that's a good question on drag racing a Harley, you want it to be in 5th gear, the direct drive gear.
Yeah. So a lot of people would ask me about either one of my race bikes, what I have, how many speeds, and we have a 5-speed in both of ours.
Yes.
Baker.
So, yeah, a Baker 5-speed in both of our bikes. But why? I always said we didn't need a 6th gear,
Right.
because we were pulling so well in 5th, and it's not. Would you suggest a 6th in anything? That's racing.
Not for racing. Not for racing because 5th gear is the most efficient gear in a 5-speed. It's 1-to-1. And 6th gear, you have power going through 2 gear pairs. And in 5th gear, you have power going through no gear pairs. So there's no parasitic loss. So as far as drag racing goes, as far as land speed record goes, you want to get into that 5th gear as quick as possible.
Right.
That's the name of the game, because you're in any other gear, you're throwing away horsepower. That's the bottom line.
Good way to put it.
Yeah.
And have you been out on the salt, Jody?
Yeah.
I hear that gets into your blood bad.
Oh, it does. We raced on the salt for 6 years straight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
2011 to
Yeah.
2017.
And my Baker transmission never failed me.
All right.
And I beat that thing.
Thank you, dear. I
had so many other failures, and not necessarily because of the product, but more of the environment and the wear and tear and everything. But my Baker transmission never failed me. And I sent it back. I think my purple bike, we sent it back to you to just go over. Yeah.
Yeah. Freshen up. How many horsepower are you talking about, roughly,
On my first bike, which was 100 cubic inch with a supercharger, that was about 230.
Nice.
And my 120 with a turbo was about 315.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's a motor.
Yeah, with 200 foot-pounds of torque.
Jesus.
When we sent my transmission back to you, which I uploaded the picture, but you sent it back to me and wrote, "Go effing fast." You wrote on the or engraved it, actually, I think. I always thought that was so cool because it makes it unique.
And you did. Did. Tell me what kind of speeds have you done on asphalt or out at Bonneville?
So the fastest on asphalt was 202, and the fastest at Bonneville was 208.
Well, that's the record.
Yeah, I made a pass with the top speed of 214.
Jesus Christ, man. And it's like driving down a dirt road or something?
Yeah, it's not. Well, it's more like on the ice.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's slippery.
Right. I guess that's my point.
Because they grade they drag the salt, so they make it as smooth as possible. So that's why horsepower is such a big thing, and traction out there is you can have all the horsepower in the world, but if you can't get it to the ground, then you got like Wink Eller. I mean, he's a legend out there. He has so many records, but he hasn't hit 200 yet. He's
really, and he's a very, very smart man.
Set a record. I mean, it's Bert. People talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
200 miles an hour is a magic number.
It is a magic number, baby.
And one thing that really stands out in my mind is when we were at Loring, and she ran 202, right? Okay. She ran 2 or 3 back-to-back runs at 202 and a couple tenths. Back-to-back.
Consistent.
Yeah, three in a row. And that was, and then at Bonneville, we kind of did the same thing. I did 11 runs, and 9 of the 11 were all over 200, but it was like 200, 201, 202, 200. And the 2 that weren't, one was 199 and one was 198. So that was what kind of made us decide to build another bike, because that bike was maxed out.
Right. It clearly it was maxed out. And to get a record to stick, you have to do it once and back it up. Yes,
in the opposite direction.
Oh, okay.
So you can't blame the wind.
Okay. You do the opposite, and then it sticks.
Yeah, and it has to be within a certain time frame too.
Right.
You have to do it within a 2-hour time frame.
Oh, that day. Okay.
Yeah, so you go one direction, you set a record, you go to impound. You sit in impound until they say you can go to do your backup run. And then you go back to the other end of the track, do your backup run, and then it's your average.
Oh, and that's your number.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like with Wink. Wink's got, hundreds of records.
Yes.
But, unfortunately, he never backed up. He did many runs over 200, but never was able to back it up the same day.
So it doesn't stick. That's right. And you both of you know he is a very, very smart man.
Oh, Wink smart. He was one of my mentors when we were building Jody's first race bike.
Yeah.
It was Wink Ella, Roger Goldhammer, and Phil Day.
Jay Allen.
Okay.
And Jay Allen too.
Okay.
All those guys, I spent hours and hours and hours on the phone with all those guys, asking questions and steering me in the right direction.
I mean, there's like you said, Jody, in the start of the show, you just can't Google all this shit, right? I mean, you can't, because there's so much knowledge to know. And for your listening audience, David was talking about Wink Eller, not Wink Ella.
That's what I said, Wink Ella.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, Wink's a cool guy. We raced with him for years.
Yeah.
He pitted right next to us, and Wink is a great guy. He was a big help to us.
Yeah, him and Jay were.
Yeah, Jay Allen, and then of course we can't forget Dan Thayer.
Well,
Dan was our tuner.
Dan Thayer, another very smart man.
Dan is, oh my God, the guy is a genius.
He really is.
Yeah.
He's like almost a savant genius, because he walks around in these crazy rubber boots.
And overall,
these waiters, and you think maybe he might be homeless or something,
Yeah.
And then he starts asking questions or talking, and you realize he's a very, very smart man. I mean, very smart man.
Yeah.
And you need those kind of people around you to get into racing. You really do.
Right.
I am building another bike, for the Outlaw Street class, Street class for drag racing, and I want to get into the low 8s, high 7s with it.
What do you?
But I did spend. You ever spend any time on a Top Fuel Harley, Jody?
No, but I would love to.
I think you would do very well. I spent a little time on a Top Fuel Harley, and we're talking 1,000 horsepower, and it took me 16 tries to make it go straight. I mean, I'd launch that sucker, I'd go left, I'd launch it, I'd go right. You got to shut down. But finally, at Bradenton, I did a 676 at 202.
Wow. No kidding.
And
whose bike was it?
It was a bike owned by an individual named Joey Sternati. He's dead.
Yeah.
But I rented some seat time from him, and I did that time and speed because even though I shut down the throttle at 1,000 foot.
What's the name?
So at 1,000 foot, my eyeballs were swapping sockets. I couldn't tell you if I was at the starting line or in the tomato field after the shutdown. I had no idea where I was at, and I shut down the throttle at 1,000 foot and still did 676 at 202. A Top Fuel Harley is actually terrifying.
Oh, I'll bet. Yeah, I mean, I used to race. I used to go with Wayne a lot.
Wayne was a big drag racer.
Yeah, when Wayne had his top fueled bike,
Yeah,
I went with him lots of races, and
it's intense.
he was quite a rider.
Hey,
And, yeah, go ahead.
what do you think about the new bag of races? You got some transmissions in some of those bikes?
You know it, baby. You know it.
So what do you think of that? I am so excited to see it.
You should be excited about it, and I am definitely excited. Everybody at Baker's excited about that because it's something new and it's something fresh.
Yeah.
And our little industry is so lacking in such a, in that way. And so I'm all about it. I'm very excited about it. I talked to Robbie Lane out at Alloy Art last week about it, and you got they're turning it into a race series, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to play with that, Jody?
I would love to. I honestly would jump at an opportunity.
Sure.
But we're at least going to go to the first race in Utah in June.
So,
is that where the first race is at?
Salt Lake City, yeah. June.
Okay.
Yeah, you should put it on your calendar.
When is it? When is it?
I think it's the third weekend in June.
I was going to say towards the end of June.
Yeah.
Oh, so it gets a late start.
Yeah.
Late start. And they have 6 or 8. How many races?
I think 6.
6?
Actually, maybe there's
No,
only
I think
4.
it's 5.
5 races.
5 races.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that are building bikes and are very intense about it. Robbie Lane from Alloy Art is building. Well, I think he has one bike already, and he's building a second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it too because Indian is dominating.
Do you love that?
Yeah.
Everybody loves a rivalry.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, right?
Bringing it back.
Bring it back. I mean, 100 years ago, that was a big fucking deal, right?
Yeah, the wrecking crew.
Indian versus Harley. So, racing really is racing just boils all the bullshit out, and it's so exciting to me. And I'll love racing till I die, and I know both of you love it. I mean, it's there's so much intensity at a track, whether it's a quarter mile, whether it's a road race course, whether it's a land speed record. I just love that really intense air.
Yeah.
So like I would tell anybody listening in on this broadcast, if they're into bikes and they've never been to a track, you have to get your ass to the track because you take like the whole bike scene is a drug, right?
Yeah.
And like you go to a track and it's that drug times 10. I mean, it's just like, it's really, I can't suggest it any other way. You just got to get to the track and whiff that air, man. It's just insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
We had a couple of people ask, are you doing anything for Indians?
I am not currently. I am not.
Is that because the Indian transmission is so great you don't need to?
Did you say something?
Good comment.
One of the problems with the Indian deal is they don't have a cartridge style gear set. So to gain access to the transmission, you got to switch cases.
Yep.
The motor cases. Well, on a Harley, thank God, to R&R the transmission, it's like a 6-hour deal. It's very simple, right?
Yeah.
And on an Indian, it would be like a 24 hours of labor. I mean, the labor bill would be massive, and that would limit sales.
I will say, my Indian Challenger, compared to a Road Glide, it shifts like butter.
Butter? Butter?
How, a Harley stock transmission, it's like clunk, clunk.
I do.
Yeah, I mean, part of it is why people replace it.
Right. They buy ours, sure.
Yeah. But I mean, my Challenger transmission is just smooth.
Does it got like that sport bike kind of snick?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Polaris, I think it's awesome that Polaris got in the game, because I really feel that competition just makes everybody better.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And so, I stay tuned on that one. Is that just a road bike for you?
Yeah, my regular. Honestly, though, I've probably ridden that Indian Challenger more miles this summer than I did all my other bikes combined.
Really?
Yeah.
You love it. Love it.
I really do. And I'm not, obviously, Indian is very good to us, but I honestly love that bike. It just rides so smooth. And it's for a big bike. I mean, I'm not little, but I'm not big. I can handle that bike like a Sportster.
Okay. And this is like a touring model?
Yeah, so it's the new one. It kind of looks a little bit like a Road Glide. It's got, the fixed fairing.
Right.
Saddlebags and stuff. And there's a lot of advantages, I feel, on the Challenger versus a Road Glide.
Gotcha.
It's got way better suspension, better braking, the horsepower. It's, got way more horsepower than, a stock Road Glide right out of the box.
Really? It really gets up and goes.
Yeah.
It's 120 horsepower, right?
Yeah, 124.
Out of the box.
Out of the box.
No, where's the torque at on that? Where's the torque?
Right up there, too. I want to say, actually, 128. It's like 124 and 128, I think. So, I mean, it's definitely
serious.
Yeah,
like
it's
serious
a
motor. That's a very serious motor. But I tell you what, the new Harley M8 motor, they're making some power, though,
Yeah, I've got an M8, Softail, and I love it. I just warmed the motor up. I did a before and after. I dynoed it when I got the bike bone stock.
Yep.
And it was like 68 horsepower and I think 70 foot-pounds of torque.
Right.
I did a cam and, the minor stuff, a Trask pipe and a Trask air cleaner and a tuner.
Yeah.
And got 108 and 116. We're just doing that little bit of work.
Really?
Yeah.
Just completely woke it up.
Yeah, completely. Like a different bike.
And so now you can beat Jody.
Yeah. It's got 100 foot-pounds of torque at $2,000.
That's crazy.
200. Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, I've heard some really wicked stories about the M8. We picked up a 2020 Road Glide and, put the new 131 motor in it. And, it's like 150, 150.
Yeah, I know it. It's incredible, isn't it?
It's compared to the Evo and the Shovelhead days.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about it.
Right. But David, it's really a pleasure talking to you and working with you, over the years. I mean, you were doing this shit in the 70s before it was cool, right?
When you were in diapers.
No, I was sitting in my pants.
Yeah, that's right.
And you were like engraving motors and shit.
Yeah, that's right.
For real? I mean, back when Arlen started, started during that time period too, right?
Yeah, Arlen was like a year or two ahead of me.
Okay.
Well, the last job I had, Bert, was 1970.
Gotcha. You've been unemployed ever since.
Ever since, yeah.
Suck it off.
Yeah.
Oh man, I really appreciate you inviting me on the show because all of this rich history, over the past. It's 50 years now, right? I mean, you've been doing this for over 50 years.
Yeah.
I mean, people have lost track. It's stuff you can't Google, and I really appreciate you capturing it. Oh my God, you're showing all these pictures.
Oh yeah.
That's the Grudge Box thing, and Grudge Box is really selling well for us right now.
That's what I was going to ask you.
We've got quite a few of those.
Yeah, let's plug Baker Transmission Drivetrain for a minute and what's your top selling product.
That is our top selling product. You know, obviously, well, it's for late model stuff. You know, '07 and later.
Okay.
And you know, people are making all this horsepower, and you know, the stock transmissions just don't hold up. This is, you know, this is a high performance transmission. It has no helical gears in it. You know, no, you know, the helical gears where they're at an angle. It's straight cut gears, minimize the parasitic losses.
What exactly helical
You know,
gears,
I was
Bert?
talking to Robbie Lane last week because he needs a couple for his race bike, and you know,
Bert, what is a helical gear?
helical gear is, if you look at the gear teeth, the teeth are at an angle relative to the face of the gear. So you see on the bottom gear there,
Yeah.
the bottommost gear and the topmost gear are helical.
Oh, I
The
see
few in the middle are straight cut.
Versus
Yeah.
People, that's a DD6 in which first through third are straight cut and fourth through sixth are helical. And what that means is helical gears are very good for minimizing transmission noise. So if you have a road bike like your Indian that you ride, Jody, and you like to listen to your Henry Mancini symphony music, and you don't like any gear noise, then you need to run helical gears. If you're into performance and you want every single horsepower or you know unit of torque to go to the rear wheel, you want straight cut gears. The Grudge box has all straight cut gears.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, good.
Cool.
And so it's selling very well, very, very well. And you know, because people are taking these M8s and making some big power with them. I mean, you know, like Nick Trask, what is Nick probably does 200 horsepower standard?
Oh
yeah. Yeah.
Right? I mean,
on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nick's been making some unbelievable power.
Unbelievable power, like stuff we've never seen before. And so, I mean, you know, that's when you start making that power, you start breaking gear sets. The stock Harley transmission is very, very good for your 68 horsepower softail. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Right.
But when you start getting above 100 foot-pounds of torque, 120, 150, you know, that's when you start breaking stuff, you know. And so, you know, yeah, I mean, I like this business. I've been unemployed since 1998.
98. And all your stuff is made in the USA.
I'm all about that because in Michigan, you know, I've seen the devastation of, you know, jobs going overseas. You know? And so, in all seriousness, all of my shit is made in the USA, and I keep it that way because I love this country. I mean, I've traveled around the world. You know, I've traveled around the world, and I've seen how people live in other corners of the world. And I know this country is fucked up right now, but it's still the best country on the earth. I will promise you.
I agree.
Yeah.
I will promise you it's the best country on the earth. And I believe in this country. So I like my job. I like my job. How about you?
We love our job.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say.
There you go. There
what
you
job?
go.
We're both unemployed.
Yeah.
All three of us are in the unemployment line, but it's all good, man.
Yeah, we're gonna be waiting at the mailbox for that check.
Right on, right on. Dude, you're a chip off the old block, Joey.
Make sure it's retroactive.
Oh my God! Now you're working me, man. You know, there's a lot of shysters and schemers on the East Coast, man. And you know, I heard that in some suburb of Boston, there's more bank robberies per capita than anywhere on the earth.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
Charleston, no, Charleston.
Charlestown.
That one.
Yeah.
That one.
Three
More
bank robbers.
More bank robbers, man.
Yeah.
You do it right, man.
It's a family tradition.
I feel my pockets getting lighter already talking to you both, so I gotta go.
Yeah, we
All
gotta
right,
go
Bert,
too.
we gotta go too.
All right, kids. Thanks for having me on the show. We'll talk to you soon.
I'll see you in Daytona.
All right, we'll see you in Daytona on Wednesday, the 10th
Yes.
at Broken Spoke, right?
Got it.
Yeah. If you're
All
gonna
right, we'll see
be
you
there,
there, kids.
listen,
Have a good one.
if you're gonna be there earlier, when do you get in town?
Pardon me?
When are you getting to Daytona?
I might be driving. Or I'll be there on Monday, maybe.
We got a deal Sunday night. If you're around, call me.
Okay, you got something going on?
Yeah, it's a private deal, but you know you'd have a good time.
Yeah, so
Chocolate syrup with donut?
All the donuts you want.
All the donuts I want. All right, kid. We'll talk to you later, man.
Okay, bye, Bert.
Thanks. Yeah.
All right, guys. So that was our episode of Chopper History today, sponsored by Indian Motorcycles, Law Tigers, and Badlands. Thank you, everybody, for your comments. Don't forget our paint show is Wednesday, March 10th at the Broken Spoke. It's going to be a great event, like I said, in Daytona. So make sure if you're going south for Bike Week, come over to our paint show on March 10th. Don't forget to follow our Instagram page, Perrots_CycleFab. And we will be back again on Thursday for another show. And that's it. Thank you guys for everybody's comments. And thanks to Baker Drivetrain. Go check them out if you're in need of a transmission. You want some made in USA products, go over there. All right, I guess that's it. You got anything?
Okay, Chopper History.
We'll see you later.